Hello, art people. We are going to fill out this exit slip here for this lesson. And this is all about the skills and knowledge an art curator must have in order to carry out their responsibilities. And first thing we do is always the same. We pick up our pencil and write our name. So put your name up here. I already wrote your grade for you. Just write your class, which is 5, and the first letter of your teacher's last name. I wrote what type of map it is for you. And what this map does explains the skills and knowledge of an art curator must have to carry out their responsibilities. So the responsibility will go up here, and the skills and knowledge necessary to do that responsibility goes down here. Okay? So now I can get the scissors, and what we're going to do is cut on this line here in the middle of the paper, this dashed line. And we're going to cut out all these squares, or all these rectangles. All right, so these are all the options. So you'll want to pick out a skill. So these are the different responsibilities. So you'll pick one of these responsibilities out and glue it in the rectangle. And then underneath it, you'll find out which skill is needed to do that responsibility. So which of these curators is fulfilling that responsibility that you picked out here. So I am going to actually pause it here and see if you guys can figure it out on your own. Okay, so I'm pausing it, and then we'll go over the answers after you guys all try it out on your own. Okay, so now that you guys have all had a chance to fill it out, I will go ahead and show you what the answers are. So these can go in any order as long as the small and the big rectangle are together how they need to be. So I'm just going to pick a random one, a random small rectangle. This one's good. Preserving art. So I'll put this on here real quick. So look for where you have preserving art. Which of these columns go down? Now, underneath preserving art, and this is a picture of a guy framing a Piet Mondrian painting, by the way. Let's see. Which of these curators is preserving art? I'm making a list of which art belongs to this gallery and which art we are borrowing. Each artwork's frame needs to go perfectly with the artwork, or art should not be placed in direct sunlight. So which one did you guys put underneath preserving art? Okay, the answer is this one. Art should not be placed in direct sunlight. Okay. But, I mean, if the frame had glass in front of it, then that would actually be preserving art too, wouldn't it? Because if there's glass in front of the painting, then kids are less likely to, like, touch the painting, right? So technically, really, that one could be right too, couldn't it? Okay. And if you think this one is right and you want to raise your hand and tell me why you think it's right, that's wonderful. I would love if you guys did some thinking outside of the box and came up with your own answers and could defend your answers. That's awesome. Okay. I'm just going to pick out another one. Okay. And if it's still wet, you can fix yours if you want to match mine. I'm going to do maintaining art next. And this is actually a picture of, there's the curator right there. And these are these like really big shells, but they're turned on the side, and there's giant paintings inside of those. And she's looking at this one. Okay, so Let's see which curator is maintaining art. I'm making a list of which art belongs to this gallery and which we're borrowing, or each artwork's frame needs to go perfectly with the artwork. Okay, so this one would be I'm making a list of which art belongs to this gallery and which art we're borrowing. But again, if you think it should be one of these, raise your hand and tell me why. You could be right. Maybe you're more creative than I am. I think that's wonderful. Okay. If you didn't put this one underneath maintaining art, you're welcome to switch it now if your glue is still wet. If not, it's okay. All right, and then lastly, presenting objects, artifacts, and artwork. Get this on there. Okay, I'm hoping it's this one, right? Each artwork frame needs to go perfectly with artwork. Yeah, that's all about presenting it. So now we're actually hanging it up for people to see. Now, if you can think of other ways that a curator would present objects, artifacts, and artworks, you can write it down on the sides and then just do an arrow. If you can think of other ways to maintain art, just write it down and put an arrow. That'd be so cool. Okay, because now we're actually going to glue these on to our paintings. Okay, our flow map tells us to fill out the attachment form below. Done. Then it says glue on this top section. So glue on top of the dots. And then it says stick onto the back of the bottom of your artwork. So this. And now it's on there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.